Is it the beginning of the end? Are the markets about to collapse? What is Grexit and how is it going to affect you and your portfolio? Good morning, my name is Paul Carroll. I'm the CEO and founder of Efficient Wealth Management, a boutique wealth management firm based here in the Woodlands, Texas. Now, if you've got a pulse, somehow, somewhere, you've heard that the Greek economy is collapsing, that there's a term called Grexit, which is a contraction of the Greek exit from the euro. Whether or not Grexit is partial or complete is to be determined maybe as soon as this week, but clearly it's the end game for Greece. Their situation is difficult. Did they get what they asked for? Pretty much they got what they voted for. They voted for a political party that said, no, we're not paying our bills. No, we're not willing to give concessions that were not even as great as the concessions that the lender countries made within their own nation. So there's no tolerance at all within Europe for the Greek scenario. Maybe you could argue it's not all their fault, but it doesn't make any difference. The Greek markets, the Greek banks are closed, the Greek stock market's closed. Greece as a functioning economy shut down today. So how bad is this? Well, I did a little research before making this quick video. First, Greece has 11 million people. And the GDP of Greece is less than 0.5% of the global GDP. It's basically an insignificant little cluster of islands. And my apologies if you're Greek, but from an economic perspective, that's very much the case. And what's going on today has been seen coming. It's a train wreck in slow motion that has been watched for the last 5 years. So most countries and their banking systems have had time to very well insulate themselves from what's going on today. It's interesting though, because the markets, as you could almost predict, are acting emotionally. There's a lot of fear going on, and the fear is irrational because probably as much as 90% of the fallout of the Grexit is already priced into the markets last week. So any correction more than a very modest one is an overreaction. Needless to say, we're going to be rebalancing tomorrow because we anticipate some significant market reaction. And then as the dust settles and people start doing the math and realize this scrawny little country with the GDP of such relative insignificance that's already with a wreck that's already been anticipated, as this knowledge slowly bubbles up to the top, there will be somewhat of a bounce back. And ironically, in the end, this is probably good for Europe, almost regardless of whether it's a semi-exit or a complete exit, or even if they stay in the euro. This is good because one of the fundamental flaws of the euro, the single currency, is the sovereignty issue. And what is the sovereignty issue? You can't have a single currency if you don't have a single nation. You can call it a federal nation like the United States was 200 years ago. Until there's a federal United States of Europe, there's always going to be this fundamental flaw in the euro. So this may actually take Europe one step closer to nationhood. Otherwise, Greece is just out. Unfortunately, Greece is going to pay. They're going to pay severely, and it's very sad that the population, what they're going to go through in the next 10 years. But from your point of view, this is not the beginning of the end. I'm wishing you the best of investment success. Thank you.